What's good? What's good? Welcome back, everybody. Time for Snug Wrestling once again. Today we're going to be covering some AEW stuff with Dayo Adebola is back. And yeah, man, I was just telling Dayo that I want to start covering AEW more often like we are today. We're going to be doing predictions for Forbidden Door here in a bit. And yeah, right now is a good time to get back on AEW stuff, right, Dio?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's perfect. It's a perfect time. We're about to go into Forbidden Door. Um, that's going to be gas in the first place, and then we have All in London afterwards. Oh, oh, it's a good time to be an AEW fan. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, All In is the next pay-per-view after Forbidden Door, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, that should be good. Yeah, I was planning on going to Forbidden Door because it's in San Jose, which is a couple hours away from here. But we made some plans to do something else. We're gonna go like on a little mini vacation instead.
Okay.
But I'm still gonna try to catch the show, not live, but later on because
Mm.
there's a lot of stuff happening that's gonna be taking place, which is next weekend from when we're recording today, the last month of June. And there's going to be a shit ton of wrestling that entire weekend too. WWE is doing what WWE usually do with the counter programming. Dio, did you hear about that?
Is it not a champions or
No, it's a NXT PLE, the Great American Bash.
come on, dog? Come on, dog.
Yeah. Yeah, the Great American Bash is next weekend. I mean, is it though? Is it counter programming? I'm not sure. I have to double check because I believe the American Bash is on Saturday and Forbidden Door is on Sunday, if I'm not mistaken.
I
But I
don't see
could be
them doing
wrong.
counter. I don't see them doing counter programming though. I don't think. I like to give them the benefit of the doubt that they don't care that much about AEW to bother doing counter programming. Um, but I've been wrong before. So yeah,
WWE tried to counter program AEW a lot last year, it
yeah, they
feels
did. No,
like.
they did. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
And I think I saw somewhere on the internet that even TNA Slammiversary was going to be that day as well
Oh,
as the same day as Forbidden Door. But I
oh.
believe they were saying that they moved it to like a different day or something like that.
I mean,
But yeah, I mean, I've been watching a lot of NXT lately, Dio, and I've been enjoying it a lot.
yeah.
Are you gonna? Would you be willing to check out the Great American Bash to see if they can outperform AEW's Forbidden Door?
Okay, so let's set a baseline for things real quick. Okay.
Uh oh,
First of all, Great American Bash is not going to be better than Forbidden Door.
right off the
let's
bat.
let's set a baseline for that. That being said, I don't have an issue checking out the Great American Bash. If I'm being honest, like I haven't really watched NXT since the rebrand.
Hmm.
I was big on Black and Gold, but like the rebrand just kind of hit me in a weird. It felt a bit too corporate for me, which is kind of the opposite of what NXT was supposed to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't mind checking out the Great American Bash. I mean, if nothing else, NXT has given us a bunch of pretty dope people.
Yeah.
Olufemi. We have Ricky Saints, who was Ricky Starks before. So I don't know if you count him.
You guys got Champa over
Trick,
there in AEW now too.
Trick was in there. Camilla Hayes was in there. So like, yeah, I'll check it out. I don't mind. I'll check it out.
Yeah. I like it. I mean, for the most part, I like it. But at first, it's kind of weird because I feel like at first, when I first started watching it again, it was kind of hard to get into.
Mm,
But the more I watched it, like over a course of maybe like 2 or 3 months, the more I started getting into it.
mm.
I think it takes a while to get used to, but once you get used to it, it's like, okay, now I understand it. Now I can get with it, you know.
Why is that though? Like, why is it difficult to get into? Is it like because I mean every wrestling promotion is going to be difficult to get into when you first watch it, but like is NXT particularly difficult or?
I think it's the same thing with any promotion. I feel the same way with AEW. Like when I was watching it every single week, I it was easier for me to get into some of the stuff because like I was following up with it consistently and I was
Mm,
keeping up with everything.
mm,
But when it comes to NXT, there's a lot of new faces that you're not familiar with that you've never
yeah,
seen before. So it's
yeah,
like, why should I care about these people? So you kind of build like what's the word? Like I don't know, familiarity
yeah.
with the
Familiarity. Yeah, you
yeah,
got to be
with the
more familiar with them. Yeah.
yeah. So it's after a while it's like, okay, I like this guy. Oh, I like this guy because of this reason
Mm.
and so on and so forth. So I caught myself finding things that I like about different people in NXT, you know. Um
Yeah, but I mean, again, like I said, that's how. That's how I think that's how all. Um, I think that's how it goes for every wrestling promotion. I think AEW was the worst one to get into because at least for NXT, you know that they're going to be up and comers. You know that they're going to be new folk. Whereas AEW, for example, you have especially with it, and kudos to them for doing that too because like I said, I would never have known about a lot of people if not for AEW.
right.
But when they bring in someone new, the commentary at least does a pretty good job of saying why this person is important
Yeah.
or why this is a big deal. And then it's up to you as a viewer to now decide whether or not you think it's actually a big a deal. As for example, Finlay, when Finlay came in with the dogs in AEW, I was like, I don't know who that is. I don't care. And like everyone has been saying, "Oh, this is a really big deal." I'm like, I don't know who I don't know who that is. And so as a result, me warming up to the dogs as a faction has been a lot more difficult because I don't have any basis for who these people are. One, two, they were feuding with when they first came in, they were feuding with Darby Allin, who I
Yeah.
already knew as an AEW original, but then they came in and I'm just like, I don't know who these people. I don't like, and they're heels as well. So it's difficult for me to be like, oh, it's difficult for
Yeah.
me to be like to warm up to them. And now they're in a program with Edge and Christian, and I'm just like, now I'm kind of getting into them, but at the same time, I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, like why are we here?
Right. No, and we'll talk more about that later on because I feel the same way when it comes to the dogs as well. You know, I never really watched. I was never really big on New Japan, so a lot of the people that we're seeing, especially this time of year when it comes to Forbidden Door,
Mm,
they bring in a bunch of new people that I'm not familiar with, so it's kind of difficult for me to get into it. And I
yeah,
always get shit about it. It's like, well, do your research, and it's like, well, I don't know how you feel, Dio, but when I'm watching a TV show, a program, I don't want to have to do research to understand what's happening. I want to be told during the show.
yeah.
So like when it comes to like Forbidden Door, we're seeing all these people showing up. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about Forbidden Door and all those new people that we're seeing come from like New Japan, CMLL and Stardom?
So for me, Forbidden Door as a concept, I always found it really cool because I mean, it's you expect a wrestling promotion that has so many different arms and legs to have something like Forbidden Door. If WWE did a Forbidden Door, that should be gas. Let's let's be real, because the amount of dream matches that you would have from a WWE roster against like an AEW roster against like a TNA roster, yes, different
Yeah.
conversation. But because AEW is doing it, even though I don't know who these people are, it's okay because it's one night. Like we have one night where you have these people who you don't know who are a relatively big deal in a different promotion coming in. For example, we're getting Kenny Omega versus Zack Sabre Jr.
Right.
Gas. Gas. I
Yeah.
don't even know. I haven't watched any Zack Sabre Jr. matches outside of when he's been at Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
But even from the first time he was at Forbidden Door, they did a good job of making him seem like a big deal. And when the match happened, I think it was against Brian, either Brian or Kenny, I can't remember who. But when he had that match, I was like, okay, yes, I get it.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what Forbidden Door is all about. And I think that's why it's such a good idea and just a wonderful opportunity for everybody to see these new people, to get acquainted with these new people, to figure out who, if they want to watch these new people as well. Because I would definitely watch New Japan now because I know some of the people, but I don't think I would have done that in a pre-Forbidden World, like Forbidden Door world, rather.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. That's also where Stephanie Vaquer wrestled, I believe it was Mercedes Moné
Yeah.
at a Forbidden Door, and then quickly after that got hired by WWE, which a lot of people were not happy about that. But it seems to be a platform for even WWE scouts. It
That
seems
gave me
like.
whiplash, by the way. Vaquer going to WWE after wrestling at Forbidden Door gave me whiplash. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
That was jarring.
Yeah. I think Dragon Lee did the same thing, but I don't think Dragon Lee actually wrestled at Forbidden Door. I think he just showed up in like Collision a couple times or something like that. And then he showed up on NXT shortly after that, and it
But
was
this
like,
is what
oh
I'm saying.
shit.
Like, it doesn't like if you have scouts, WWE scouts who are going to be at Forbidden Door, it means you recognize, or on some level, like somebody somewhere recognizes the amount of talent that's coming into Forbidden Door. And that's why I still don't understand why we can't have a Forbidden Door between the E and AEW, for example. Especially AEW. AEW is very deep into the indies. AEW is very deep into New Japan. And so, like, I can easily see WWE spinning this into a whole us versus them thing because that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
But like the amount of wrestling that we get from that would be phenomenal, man. No pun intended.
Right. Yeah, in the perfect world, right?
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess the simple answer would probably be like business, money, right?
Yeah.
That's why they don't do it. It's not that simple because of, I don't know, merchandising, licensing, or whatever, just the legality of things. I also just feel like if WWE wants to do something like that, it has to be under their terms, under their conditions. Like, for example, they wanted to work with TNA. So I don't know if they called it a partnership, but it kind of feels like the WWE owns part of TNA. They bought AAA, and now they got their hands all over that. And I don't think Tony Khan would ever sell out to a WWE in any way, just for the sake of, yeah, let's have a collaboration with them type thing.
No,
you know?
I think that would defeat the purpose of Tony Khan like existing. That would defeat the purpose.
Absolutely.
But also, you have a good point about that, right? Because it was a collaboration, quote unquote, but you also had NXT people being champion. You featured, from what I saw, you had more WWE people in there than TNA people, even though it was supposed to be a collaboration. That struck me as hella weird. And then the funny thing about that too is MJF actually talked about that when he was on Busted Open, and I was like, he has a point. He has a point, but it's a different conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I went to TNA a couple months ago or last month or something like that, and there was some NXT stars that were showing up on TNA and vice versa. So yeah, the WWE definitely has their fingers all over them too. But yeah, man, it's fun to think about like some of the matches that we can get in an actual Forbidden Door, you know, between AEW and WWE. But we'll see. Anything can happen in wrestling, man. That's what I like to say all the time.
True,
Maybe I don't know, 10 years from now,
true.
shit can change, right? The other thing before we get into the matches, Dio, I saw something recently that FTR posted. I don't know if you heard about this, but the FTR posted that they're going to be going away for a while. They're going to be taking some time off of wrestling.
I didn't see that, but it makes sense. I mean, they just came off a title defense, a pretty sizable title defense against like Edge and Christian, and they've been running it for a while too. So I'm not surprised. I think they're also pulling double duty because they would be on Dynamite on one week, then they'd be on Collision on the next week. Oh, sorry, in the same week rather, and they'll be wrestling maybe both times, or they would do a promo on Dynamite and then they would wrestle on Collision. So I'm not surprised, honestly. It doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they earned it. I think they earned it. It's the same way we haven't seen CM Punk since WrestleMania either. Well, the Raw after WrestleMania, but yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess FTR said they want to take some time off to spend time with their families, and like you said, well deserved. And AEW does like this rotation with their talent. Like some of them leave, and then others come back, and they just have like this routine that they do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting, worth mentioning.
It's good. I think it keeps the product fresh. And it's a bit more dynamic than the way WWE is currently handling it. I don't want this to just break down into a AEW versus WWE thing. But like, yeah, it's good. It's good. I think the rotation is good.
Yeah, I don't want it to come to that either because WWE will clearly win.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I'm just kidding, Dayo. I'm just kidding, dog. All right, so far, Dayo, we got 9 matches for Forbidden Door. And one of them, actually 10, but one of the matches is a, what are they called? From the pre-show matches. I don't know if you want to get into the pre-show matches, but we have 9 matches on the main card so far. We still got one more Dynamite left before Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll add a 10th or a 12th
might.
or hell, maybe a 13th match on there?
They might. You know how they do? They always have like these surprise matches in between, or these surprise segments in between. So I wouldn't be surprised if they had like a whole like maybe a 2-minute squash match or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. All right, the first one on the list, Dayo. We're gonna get started with Jon Moxley versus Bandido. Mm-hmm. This is a singles match for the Continental Championship. Who's your favorite to win this one? I saw the way that they put this match together happen on this past Dynamite. Yeah. They had a tag team match. It was Jon Moxley versus Daniel Garcia versus Bandido. They brought back Bandido, which is Bandido and
Brody King.
Good old Brody. Thank you. I almost forgot his fucking name. Bandido ended up getting the pin and then asked for a title shot right after versus Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley accepted, and we're off to the races. Do you think we're going to get a new Continental Champion?
No. No. It has nothing to do with Bandido. Bandido is fantastic, but I think the route, the story that they're taking the Continental Championship is that whoever wins it just kind of holds it for until the next tournament. I get that's the feeling because it's the same thing that happened with Okada. I think it was Okada last year, where he barely defended it, and when he did, he won. Moxley is a bit different because Moxley is defending it quite a bit more often, but that's Moxley. But no, I don't think Bandido takes it. And if Bandido takes it, I wouldn't be mad at it either. Bandido is fantastic. So,
They usually do that Continental tournament at the end of the year, don't they? Like kind of
Late,
like World's
yeah,
End,
yeah.
kind
So
of.
like late year slash early next year.
Okay, so it'd probably be starting sometime after All In, then, right?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. But I
Okay.
don't think it's. I think we have a few ways out before. They'll probably start in like October, November, if
Oh, okay.
my math is right. Yeah.
Okay. That's still not that far away. I can
Yeah,
see John Moxley holding that title for a few more months until the next Continental tournament,
yeah,
right?
I can see so. Yeah, especially because it's not like a regular title that has like storylines and stuff. It's more very much focused around, at least while Moxie has been holding it, it's been very much focused around the defenses rather than the stories that can be told about the defenses. Obviously, you had like the Kyle O'Reilly situation, um, but yeah, I like the idea of the title just being, a title. It's a workhorse. You just whoever wants to fight comes and fights, and then we see if you're going to win or not. And if you don't, we get a banger match, no interruption, no time limit usually.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, 20-minute time limit, unless Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Fair. Um, Let me see. I think that's everything. Is there anything else about this match? I think it's pretty straightforward, right?
it's
This,
pretty straightforward.
yeah.
One thing that I want to highlight, just as a fan of AEW in general, is there was a section in that match where Daniel Garcia was dancing,
Mm-hmm.
and it was so funny because he hasn't danced in like forever, right? And you can see it on John Moxley's face. He's like, "This fucking kid, man,
Yeah.
this fucking kid." And it's obviously like they're aware that was everybody knows that was gonna happen, but like it's just one of those things that I'm like, that's a cool touch. That's a cool little touch.
When is Daniel Garcia gonna get I don't know, a push or some type of shot at
I mean, he
something?
was TNT champion for a while.
What championship did he have?
TNT,
He was, huh?
yeah, he was, yeah.
Okay, I forgot about
And
that.
he had a I don't remember if it was a best of three, but like he had a banger set of matches with Adam Cole.
Mm. Was he the one that slammed Adam Cole on the apron, like on the back of his head? No, that was I think that was Kyle Fletcher, wasn't it?
I think that was Kyle Fletcher. No, that was Kyle
Uh,
Fletcher. That's because
okay.
that's Kyle Fletcher's thing. He's just a brute.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a savage. Yeah, but ever since then, Daniel Garcia had the TNT Championship, but he's been kind of quiet since then. He joined the Death Riders. He went heel, and he's kind of just been there. It feels like,
Yeah,
right?
but it's yeah, pretty much. But
Hmm.
I prefer him being there than being off TV. To be fair, because he's very good as well.
Yeah, that's true. He does get a lot of TV time in backstage segments
Mm,
where he gets picked on by Will Ospreay and other people.
I love that too. That dynamic is so fun. Because I thought it'd be Wheeler. It's not Wheeler. It's just, well, Wheeler's like injured or something now. But like, yeah,
Wheeler Yuta. Oh, that's right. I haven't even heard of it. I haven't seen him in a while. That makes sense.
he was taken out 2 weeks ago, I think, or last week by
Yeah.
Shane Taylor Productions because then they had a street fight on Collision afterward. It was yeah.
Right.
I
Okay.
realized that when you this I realized that when you're talking about AEW as someone who doesn't watch AEW, you usually sound like a psychopath because I just said the words. Oh yeah, he was taken out by Shane Taylor Productions because, and then they had a street fight on Collision. And if you don't have any context, you have no idea what the fuck I just said.
That's a good point. Well, you know what? Before we go on to the next match, I just remembered one more thing I wanted to ask you because with Night of Champions coming up, right? And the one of the major complaints that people have about Night of Champions is like, okay, there's only 3 titles that are being defended, and it's called Night of Champions. Well,
Yeah, yeah,
here we have the first match that we talked about, John Moxley versus Bandido at Forbidden Door. These both of these guys are from AEW. So there's no Forbidden Door being opened here in this match.
nope.
What's
That's the
up with
point.
that? What's up with that, Dayo?
But I think apart from, I think that match, and I think the Will Ospreay Swerve Strickland match. I think there's only three matches that are pure AEW, if I remember correctly. So,
Coping Cage versus the Dogs. That's an AEW
oh
match.
yeah, that is AEW. So four, because you have Moxley, Copen Cage, Will Ospreay, and Swerve, and then the steel cage match. I think everything else is.
And also the Team Briscoe versus the Don Callis family thing, the
Yeah,
main
that's it.
event.
Yeah, the steel cage match. Yeah.
So
So you have
far we have one, two, three, four, five matches that are technically Forbidden Door out of 9.
that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
I mean, compared to Night of Champions, there is 3 title matches out of 6 total matches on the card. So,
Yeah, 50%, not bad.
yeah. I just think it's funny that that's like the major complaint that people have about, Night of Champions, but it's like, I think that's a stupid ass complaint, but that's just me.
I agree with you, but also keep in mind that the first time they iterated it, I think it was all championship matches, which was kind of the point, right? So if you're going from that to now this, I can understand why people would complain about it, but
Hmm.
you're nitpicking at that point. Who gives a fuck?
All right, this next one, this is definitely a Forbidden Door match right here because it's Tekla versus Starlight Kid. Now, again, not too familiar with Starlight, but
Mm,
apparently Tekla is hot at Starlight Kid because she's from Stardom. Tekla has been feeling some type of way because apparently she got fired from there.
yep.
And Tekla recently showed up at Stardom and attacked some people over at Stardom to kind of turn up the heat on this feud, this rivalry that seems to be very personal for Tekla. It's for the AEW Women's World Championship. I
Is
think it's
it?
safe to say, yeah,
It's for
singles
the
match.
championship.
Yeah, singles match for the AEW Women's World Championship, it says.
Okay. Yes.
But I mean, it's got to be Tekla, right?
No, it has to be Tekla. We don't like. Come on. Like I don't know who Starlight Kid is. I'm not gonna pretend like I know what her repertoire is, but I'm pretty sure like Tekla is retaining. Tekla has to retain if we're being honest.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I'm going to keep score here just to see who we got winning out of this Forbidden Door between AEW versus other.
Versus
So,
other.
well, yeah, because they have 3 other companies that are part of this Forbidden Door, right?
Trip CMLL and Stardom.
And New
Sorry,
Japan.
sorry, New Japan. Yeah. Well, isn't Stardom under New Japan?
Probably. I don't know, to be honest. I'm not even gonna pretend to know like I do because I'm just gonna say they're separate, just for shits and giggles.
Fair enough. I can respect
Um, but yeah, I again when it comes to Tekla and Starlight Kid, it's gonna be a first for me. We'll see if Starlight Kid is any good. I'm sure she is. I'm sure a lot of people rave about her. Um, they had a well. We'll talk about the other match later on because there was another girl from Stardom that showed up on Dynamite this past Wednesday versus Mercedes Monet. I don't know if you got to see that one.
that. Yeah, but yeah, I remember seeing. I just don't remember her name.
Yeah, yeah. It was one of those things, but yeah, I'm going to be positive when I watch this because I like Tekla and I like that they're actually building something here with her, giving her a reason to be pissed off at Starlight Kid. So it's not really like, oh, we're just gonna have a random match from with this girl from Stardom
Yeah,
type thing.
yeah.
All right. This next match just got added, Dayo, after I think just recently after Collision earlier today. Shota Umino versus Pac of the Death
Shota
Riders.
Umino versus Pac.
And this is going to
Shota
be
Umino versus Pac.
this is for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. Another title match, it sounds
Oh, that
like.
is crazy work.
Yeah. How did this thing even come about? This one literally just got added. Pac versus Shota Umino is official for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. AW's collision says Shota Umino accepted Pac's challenge for Forbidden Door. Okay, so I guess Pac just randomly challenged Shota Umino and Shota accepted.
Gas.
but
Gas.
again for this one, I mean, it's kind of hard to say the titles are going to switch because if Pac wins, that means he would either have to defend the title, go to Japan, or defend it in AEW, and vice versa, right?
I would say this is kind of a toss up, honestly, because I could see like Pac could win the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship on
Mm-hmm.
Forbidden Door and then go on to defend it. He's not in any storyline right now. He's part of the Death Riders for the training arc with Ospreay. And I can easily see commentary putting it over that, like, oh, we're missing Pac because he's defending his IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. So
Yeah.
I think this one is kind of a toss-up, but I imagine champion retains here, honestly.
Yeah. I'm going to go with that too, although I would like to see Pac get it because it's always cool to see someone from AEW show up in different companies, like Claudio showing up. I think Claudio's some type of champion in CMLL.
Yeah.
You know, that's always
Even
cool to
ROH,
see.
you have ROH folk coming over, but like even that leads to the credence of the entire thing.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna go with a retention here. All right, this next one is it's more interesting, Dayo. Mercedes Moné versus Maya World. This is for the Women's Owen Hart Cup final. The winner of these two gets a title shot for Tekla's AEW Women's World Championship at All In. Now, this is crazy because Maya World defeated Athena, who's the Ring of Honor Women's Champion, who she's been champion for a long time. Athena hardly ever loses, right? And I think everyone was expecting Athena to win because a lot of people were hoping to see Mercedes versus Athena. I know I did.
Yeah.
But Maya World got the major upset, and we're getting Mercedes Moné versus Maya World.
That's tough. That's tough. Because Mercedes versus Tekla would be gas.
At All In.
But Maya Worlds, it does more for Maya World to win the Owen than it does for Mercedes. But also, I don't see Maya World beating Tekla at All In. But maybe she doesn't have to. You know, maybe she doesn't have. I don't. This one's a toss up, man. That's tough. That's Mercedes, I guess. Mercedes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I mean, you have to have Mercedes Moné at All In, right? It's All In.
I don't know, man. That's the thing. I don't know. Like AEW has done that before, where that's what they did with Willow, where like Willow was relatively unknown, and then she won the Owen, and it's like, oh, okay. They did the same thing with Britt Baker, but Britt Baker was a bit different because Britt Baker had already been Britt Baker was already kind of established as a top dog. But I don't know. Mm-hmm. I think it would be cool if Maya was to win just for the validation of the Owen, Especially when it comes to putting on, because essentially that's what it is. It's to put it's to put a spotlight on wrestlers, is to honor the legacy of Owen Hart. There's so many different things to it, but I think that the key thing here is that it's a guaranteed opportunity at a championship. Mercedes has had many. Maya World hasn't had that many. And so even if she loses it all in, I think it's a moment for her that she might have to wait another year for, whereas Mercedes has already had many moments, you know? I think, okay, so let me wrap this up because I think I could go on a tangent on this forever.
Yeah.
I think either person could win. I think it makes more sense for Moné to win, but I wouldn't be mad if Maya World won as well. Let me just put it like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the bigger match at All In would be Mercedes versus Tekla, right? But
Definitely.
did it? But didn't Mercedes Monet already win the Owen Hart Cup
Yes,
tournament?
last year. That's what I'm saying. That's also what I'm saying.
So what? She's gonna win it again?
Again? Yeah, like that's what I'm saying.
I'm
She's
starting
had her
to.
moments, dog.
I'm starting to talk my way out of this, and I'm starting to feel like Maya World should probably be the one. Because can you imagine if she defeated Athena, and then she defeats Mercedes Monet, and she goes on to All In to face Tekla?
Even if she doesn't beat Tekla, dog, she forever has the credentials of, oh, I beat Mercedes Monet, Ultimo Monet, and the forever champion of ROH in the span of a week.
Yeah.
Like, she's set, dog. She's set. WWE come sweep her up now. Watch.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It would be crazy good for Maya World up until All In because
Up
once if
until
she
all that. No, I
yeah
don't
if
think
she,
she goes over Tekla at all. No way. No way.
no,
No,
she
that's
doesn't go over Tekla, but I feel like the fans like Tekla way more than they do Maya World.
yeah.
Even with the win over Athena and Mercedes Monet,
Yeah.
I think the people will still care for Tekla more
But also it
regardless.
depends, man. Because Tekla's a heel. If they do it properly, if they build Maya World properly, you'd be surprised how many people would switch to the other side.
Wow, that's a good point. And me personally, I can't stand Mercedes Monet, so I'd much rather see Maya World go over if I'm being honest.
That's fair.
Shit. That'd be crazy. Yeah, now I'm looking forward to this match even more.
Mm,
Now that I'm actually like thinking about it, you know? It's going to be interesting.
very interesting, yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's go to some tag team action, Dayo. Cope and Cage, Adam Copeland and Christian Cage versus the Dogs, David Finlay and Clark Connors for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. A lot of championships being defended on this card. Now, this build, I saw the altercation, the interaction these two teams had on Dynamite, and I got to say, I kind of liked it. I did enjoy it. Maybe it has to do with Cope and Cage, but we talked about the Dogs a little bit ago. How when they first came into AEW, they went straight for Darby Allin. I'm on the same boat as you. I wasn't too into this, but now that they're being mixed up with Copeland and Cage, now it's like, okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm starting to see a different side of them that I'm actually starting to enjoy.
Yeah, pretty much. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think that was initially because I think it was 3 weeks ago or so when they attacked Cope and Cage. I was like, oh man, why are we doing this?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh god, I don't. The less I see of these guys on my TV, the better. Um, but then they fought like the Young Bucks. They fought like a bunch of people, and like I think those were the first few times I actually sat down and watched one of their matches. I think when they were feuding with Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, there was too many things going on, and so it was difficult for me to focus on them outside of wanting the right people to win.
Yeah.
Um, But now in their more focused bouts, I'm enjoying them a lot more, and I'm very curious to see exactly how or yeah how the match with Cope and Cage plays out. Obviously, I think Cope and Cage are going to win because they're not transitional. I don't think they're transitional. I don't think you build up that much story to just have them be transitional.
Yeah.
But I am excited to see exactly how this plays out. And I also don't mind if they win it off them in like in a cheap way, and then there's now this back and forth between the two teams. That could work too.
Yeah.
But we'll see. There's many different
Yeah.
ways.
Yeah, I like that they're using them versus Cope and Christian, man. It does great for them. Again, I watched Dynamite this past Wednesday, and the angle that they did, I thought it was interesting because, man, I don't even remember what it was that was actually said, but I felt like this was something with a lot of teeth. I felt like, okay, this is they're being serious. Cope and Christian, they're not
Oh,
usually with the bullshit, you know.
oh, oh.
I can
So
get
it
behind
was
that.
so it was Christian coming in and not making a joke first of all, um, until he did make a joke, and then it was Copeland just being like, "We're just going to use all of our old man know-how and our old man grit and our old man grumpiness, and we're going to whoop your ass." And I'm just like, fair enough.
Yeah. Cause it's like this younger, new up and coming tag team versus like the veterans, right? The younger guys are cocky and they wanna
Reestablished veterans too. It's a good story.
yeah. So I'm with it, man. I like tag team action and
We
hopefully they
don't have
have a
too
good
much.
tag team match.
Yeah, it's going to be a hell of a match.
But yeah, definitely Cope and Cage are gonna be retaining here for sure.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
All right. Another Forbidden Door match. Kenny Omega versus Zack Sabre Jr.
Yes.
Now, this one, I felt like on Dynamite, for the people that haven't been really keeping up, like myself, I felt like they did a really good job of explaining what's been happening between these two leading up to the match at Forbidden Door. And they got me hyped for the match. Um, Basically, I think Kenny Omega has never defeated Zack Sabre Jr. in America, in the United States, or vice versa. I think
I
Zack
think it's the other
Sabre
way
Jr.
around. I think it's the other way around.
Whatever the case, the thing that interests me about this is like Kenny Omega basically wants to get the win for AEW. Zack Sabre Jr. wants to beat Kenny Omega for New Japan. Is basically the idea that was put in my head. Is that
Yeah.
safe to say?
Yep. Pretty much. That's a good summary of the situation, pretty much. Without going into all of the nitty gritty, because there's a bunch of nitty. You bring in like New Japan stuff, there's probably a bunch of nitty gritty as well.
Well, let's get into the nitty gritty because I saw some of the things and see this is another thing too. AEW has been really focusing a lot of their storylines from Dynamite onto Collision. You know, it's not really like the WWE where you have Raw and SmackDown, and
Mm.
you don't really have to watch both to understand what's going on separate shows, right?
Hmm.
But they do a lot of stuff on Collision that you have to follow up in order to understand what's happening on Dynamite. And
True.
that's kind of what they did here with Zack Sabre Jr. I believe Zack Sabre Jr. has a faction. They've been attacking Kenny Omega and the Bucks. The Bucks have had matches with them on Collision. So they have been doing a good job of building up this match. And yeah, man, I'm pumped for this one too, if I got to be
No,
honest.
like you said, they've been going back and forth. I think Kenny beats one of the TMDK stablemates last week
Hmm.
as well. I have a bad habit of missing Collision quite often, so I didn't see it. But also, they, like you said, they did a good job of explaining that okay, this has been happening in the background, which is also kind of nice. Like if you're not watching everything, they do a pretty good job of saying this happened while you were gone, so you don't feel like there's FOMO. Um, It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting because, for all intents and purposes, Zack Sabre Jr. and Kenny Omega is a dream match.
Mm-hmm.
For real. And so if you haven't seen them in like New Japan, if you've only watched AEW, which is kind of where I am now, and you've only seen Zack Sabre Jr.
Mm-hmm.
in Forbidden Door, you've seen him against Orange Cassidy, you've seen him against Bryan Danielson, you've seen him against there's somebody else I can't remember, but you're going to be hyped for this match regardless. You now add that extra thing on top of Kenny's trying to do it for AEW, Zack is trying to do it for New Japan. They've collided with each other's like stablemates a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand why it can't be main event, but me personally, that would have been my main event. That or the Ospreay and Swerve thing. One of those two would have been my main event personally.
And it's hard to predict because both of these guys are, in their own companies are big deals. Yep. Kenny Omega is huge in AEW. Zack Sabre Jr. for the most part, he's pretty well known everywhere he goes, not just in New Japan. So it's going to be, two trains colliding here, in theory, right?
I think Zack goes over. Because
you're wild, bro.
Kenny can take a loss. Zack can also take a loss, but Kenny can take a loss. Kenny is big in AEW and in New Japan. Zack Sabre Jr. is pretty much only big in New Japan, currently anyway. So I think they put on a banger match. It goes absolutely insane, and Zack Sabre Jr. pulls off the win, and then we can now follow the story of Kenny Omega, who has now lost to Zack Sabre Jr., who has now lost to MJF, who has now done this. We can then follow what that means for a Kenny Omega on Dynamite like normal. Whereas if Kenny beats Zack Sabre Jr., I don't know what story we tell for Kenny Omega on Dynamite anymore. So I put Zack Sabre over there, especially since like the main event scene doesn't have anything to do with Kenny Omega right now. So it's pretty much locked in for Ospreay. So yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I think I would like to see Zack win. Just to rub it in Kenny's face. He just he just has that fucking that look where he could just be like, yeah, I beat you. I'm better than you. And F you, Kenny. Why not? Let's see Zack win. Let's give it to good old Zack.
He's a smug guy too. You can tell. He's gonna be so smug about it. Oh my god.
Yeah. All right. So I'm looking forward to that one for sure. All right. God damn it. Will Ospreay versus Swerve Strickland.
Woo!
For the men's Owen Hart Cup final, the winner receives AEW World Championship match at All In.
Woo!
You're wooing already. Why, Dayo? Let me have it. Educate me.
I have a friend who is just recently catching up with AEW.
Mm-hmm.
He's working his way through all of the AEW stuff, right? He has not yet seen Ospreay versus Swerve the first time they went at it.
Mm-hmm.
I have. And as someone who has seen Ospreay versus Swerve 1, I am so excited for Ospreay versus Swerve 2. The dynamics have changed. Ospreay versus Swerve 1 was pretty much face versus face. It was like a good competition type thing. This is not that. And if you don't know anything about why this is such a big deal, we have to go back. We don't even have to go back that far because Dynamite, they talked about it. They said, okay, Ospreay was the guy. He came in, he had all this momentum, and then when he ran into Swerve, Swerve stopped the momentum. Ospreay was the guy who was like, we need to help Hangman Adam Page, take out the Death Riders. And then Swerve was like, I'm not helping Hangman Adam Page. Ospreay was like, oh, after he took out the Death Riders, after Hangman won, they put the steel cage on. The Death Riders broke Ospreay's neck. Everybody else was trying to climb the cage to get in, except you, Swerve. Where were you, Swerve? And Swerve is like, gang, you made us do all that stuff for Hangman. I hate Hangman, but I went along with it because of you. And now, Hangman can't even challenge for the championship anymore. So we followed you. We put all our hope and our trust in you. We set these things aside for you, and nothing came of it. Mm-hmm. We're now a few months forward. Nothing has come from it. And to make matters worse, the same people that broke your neck, you are now teaming with them. You're now training with them. Nah. You changed, Will. You changed. Bro. Yes. I love wrestling. I love wrestling. It was so like jokes apart, it was really good. Like, if you haven't seen that promo exchange, you'll see that promo exchange. It was great. It started off with Swerve being like, you changed. Ospreay was like, I didn't change, you changed. But by the end of the promo, like, Swerve gets the last word, and it's like, oh. They tied it back to the beginning, and it's just like, oh, okay, fine. It might not have been, maybe it's me, maybe I'm biased because I love those two. But like that was
No, yeah, I mean, I got to play devil's advocate, okay? Because I appreciated how they reminded us of everything that happened between them over a year ago, last year at All In, and they're trying to tie it all in together. I mean, all back in together, right? No pun intended. So yeah, they're trying to say, there's a lot of history between these two, and there's a lot of storytelling. There's long-term storytelling, which is what a lot of people complain about when it comes to AEW. But there's just some things that, like, it just felt like unnecessary, because Will Ospreay asked Swerve a question. You're looking at me weird. Do we have a problem? And I'm like, yeah, you guys are facing each other at the Owen Hart Cup final. The problem is you want to win because you want to go on to All In to get a title shot, and I want to win. That's the problem. But they turned it into like a really personal issue, and they started bringing up all this old stuff with Hangman and, the Death Riders and this and that and the other, and it's like, this doesn't even feel like it has anything to do with I don't know. I just didn't need all of that, I guess.
Yeah, well, I would argue that the Owen isn't really. The Owen is the set dressing for the feud more than anything else, I think. Or at least for that match, anyway. It's just set dressing at that point in time. It's a means to an end kind of thing.
Right.
I can see exactly what you're talking about. I definitely can, because it was kind of at that point in time. It was that part of the promo. I was like, well, duh.
Yeah,
but also, yeah.
And just really quick before I forget, and I want to hear what you think about just this whole promo segment in general. Swerve also telling Will, it's been over a year, no calls, no texts. I haven't seen you since. I haven't heard from you. And I'm like, bro, you guys work in the same company on the same day, on the same shows on Wednesday, and you guys haven't talked about it not once. You waited an entire year to bring this up when you guys just so happen to be in the finals of the Owen Hart Cup Championship. Maybe I'm just thinking about this too literal, but I was like, bro, why are you waiting this long to tell him? Like, if it was really bugging you this much, you could have told him sooner, bro. Like, there's ways, bro.
I think that's when you just like, that's one of those things where like you said, you were thinking about it. I think that's when you're just like, You suspend the disbelief because, like you said, there's so many situations like that where it's like, oh, you haven't called, you haven't, and I'm like, you work in the same company, y'all are coworkers, dog. Like that's not like like no
hey,
one
bro.
believes,
I heard
no
you're
one
hanging
believes
out.
the Hangman will never challenge for the championship. Like, shut up. We know. Shut up.
Yeah.
So like, no, but that is a good point though, because I mean, realistically, they could have had this conversation at any point in time. Mm-hmm. Swerve could have come out 1,000 times before now and be like, oh, I have a problem with this one person, Ospreay, come out, let's talk about it. Yada 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 yada.
Yeah, they could have done something with that a couple pay-per-views ago, you know? And then when they had, if they were to have the finals for the Owen Hart Cup, Swerve versus Will, it's like, okay, they're gonna run it back again after, you know, it's just like they're just throwing it all together in this one tournament match for a tournament. And it's just like, ugh, all right.
No, but I like that idea actually, because like that's the thing about like storytelling, like things like that, is you can have that interaction where somebody calls somebody out, and then the person that your third person that has nothing to do with this scenario, that already has beef with one of them, comes in and they're like, hey, I don't care about none of this. You're supposed to be fighting me, so let's run it. I think at that point in time, he could have done it with Bandido. He could have done it with like so many other people. But also, Swerve came back out of nowhere and started beefing with Bandido.
Yeah.
They could have entirely done it where they talk about the thing with Ospreay, and then Bandido comes in and is like, hey, that's yesterday's problem. This is today's problem, kind of thing. But
yeah.
I agree with you. That would have been gas. That would have been solid, because then they run it now. It feels more like happenstance that they both ended up in the final of the Owen, as opposed to this situation that we've kind of already called out like 1,000 times already. We already kind of knew that was going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then what's up with fucking Will Ospreay's promo when he first started with Tony Schiavone? Bro, come on, dog.
I assumed that is just the way British folks speak, because I was like, really? We didn't need to know that.
No, we didn't, bro.
We didn't need to know that.
What did he say? He was like, and then I smash my wife.
Yeah, like we know who your wife is. We've seen your wife wrestle. We don't need that mental image right now, dog.
Oh my god! And then on top of that, he was like, "I smashed her and I told her to clean yourself up." Like, damn, bro. And I'm going to Houston. Like, bro, what? Okay, thanks.
Could have just said, I'm going to Houston. You could just skip all of that. Just said, babe, I'm going to Houston. But okay. Hey,
oh my god.
Crowd pop, Loki. So I mean,
I guess the fans seemed kind of confused too. They were like, okay, okay, that's awkward. Yeah, bro, it was. Yeah, to say the least, that entire segment was interesting between Will and Swerve for so many reasons.
Yeah,
insane. So who you got?
Who I got?
Ospreay, who you got? Yeah,
I'll be surprised. I'll be very, very surprised, like shocked, if it's not Ospreay.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not.
What? It's been like ordained by God, and well, maybe not God, maybe the IWC. But I mean, Ospreay is kind of like, doesn't this finishes his redemption arc essentially? Because he came back. Do you really want
to see Will Ospreay, one of the top guys in AEW, finally win at AEW All In
London?
While the last few months he was being held by the Death Riders.
A little bit, yeah.
That right there just taints the whole fucking idea for me of Will Ospreay winning at All In.
No, but he's not. But that's the thing, right? If the Death Riders interfered more often, I would agree with you. But they pretty much just leave him to do like what he wants, and they come out afterwards and they celebrate with him. And All in London is, I mean, he's been saying it himself. This is essentially his Super Bowl, his WrestleMania, and so
His
I think
World Cup.
his World Cup. Yeah, exactly. So like, I don't see a world where he doesn't win this and then go on to do that, because that's just an easy. It's an easy layup. It's an easy moment for everybody involved. They can do the streamers from the ceiling and all that stuff. Like it's. With Swerve being champ, with Swerve being a heel right now, I don't imagine how we go Swerve, MJF, All In. It doesn't track for me. The other side of it is Ospreay could go to All In and lose.
That would be tough, bro, on my heart.
Yeah. And then he crashes out on the Death Riders or some shit. Like
I think he's gonna crash out on them regardless, but we'll do predictions for All In some other day, you know.
He's gonna crash out for real. But no, okay. Logically speaking, I think Ospreay wins.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want Swerve to win though, because Swerve is one of my favorites, but Ospreay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Ospreay as well. All right, we got a couple more so far. If Tony Khan decides to add more before Forbidden Door this Wednesday,
I can see him adding one more.
Yeah, they usually do 10. I feel like, right? Let's go. This match, I believe it just got added. This is a triple threat tag team match. And this is AEW versus New Japan versus CMLL. So we got the Young Bucks, Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson versus Unbound Company, Shingo Takagi and Titan versus El Sky Team, Místico and Máscara Dorada.
Místico, Máscara, okay. First of all, this is the most Forbidden Door match ever, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. I actually don't know who takes this.
Yeah. I mean, this one's really hard to predict.
Any of those three could take it, honestly. It doesn't really... the winner doesn't really matter, but we know it's going to be it's going to be an exciting match. There are going to be a lot of cool spots, I think. Not sure. Sky Team, I guess.
I'm thinking Sky Team as well. It's interesting, right? Because they're in San Jose, California. You could say the Young Bucks are kind of at home territory because they're not that far from there. They're like close to LA, which is their hometown. But also San Jose is a very heavily populated Mexican city with a lot of Mexican people. And the lucha libre culture in San Jose is pretty big. So I would assume that El Sky Team, Místico, and Máscara Dorada are going to be really over in San Jose. So for that simple fact, I think I'm going to go with El Sky Team. But who knows, man? Maybe the Young Bucks got a lot of fanfare in San Jose as well.
But also, maybe it's... I only know... I'm only familiar with Shingo Takagi, but I'm not familiar with Titan, I don't think. So I didn't... It could be a situation where I don't know what I know, and maybe Unbound Company is fire. My thing was just the Young Bucks are the Young Bucks already. They can lose a triple threat match. It doesn't really matter.
Right.
And Unbound Company, I don't know anything about them, so I can't say. And El Sky Team is Místico and Máscara Dorada. Místico already had that fanfare when he became All Elite. Was it Místico? I think it was Místico.
Yeah.
Yeah, Místico, yeah. Místico got the fanfare when he became All Elite, when he became Trios champion with Jet Speed. And Mascara Dorada has always been billed as pretty dope, pretty interesting, like a good, solid wrestler. So I just figured that between those two, they had a. It made more sense for them to win as opposed to the Young Bucks or Unbound Company. But
Yeah. This match kind of just feels like it just got thrown together, right? I don't think
yeah,
there's
like I said, it's the most Forbidden Door match ever. I mean,
yeah.
so I'm not mad about it. It's probably going to be really, really good. Like I said, the spots. It reminds me. It's giving the when the Young Bucks went against the Lucha Bros in that steel cage match a few years ago. That's kind of what I'm expecting because that was like spot heavy, but it was like properly organized, properly choreographed, so it wasn't too crazy.
Damn, you're taking it way back.
Yeah, well,
That was a long time ago. I remember that. I think that was when like AEW first started.
yeah,
That's
one of my
crazy.
favorite steel cage matches, by the way.
I remember that match. Yeah, that match was insane. I was pretty hyped about that one.
Mm.
Damn, that's what's up. All right. Dayo, I'm gonna need your help with this one, man. The main
Sure.
event,
Yep.
Team Briscoe. We got
Yep.
Mark Briscoe, Orange
Mhm.
Cassidy, Roderick
Yep.
Strong, Kyle
Mhm.
O'Reilly, Takeshka,
Yep.
and Darby Allin
Mhm.
versus MJF and the Don
Mhm.
Callis family, Kevin Knight,
Yep.
Kyle Fletcher, Jake
Mhm.
Doyle, Okada,
Mhm.
and Andrade.
Ellie Doodle. Yes.
The winners, whoever wins, this isn't a steel cage match. Whoever
Mhm.
wins this 12-man tag team match, Mark Briscoe, if he wins, Mark Briscoe gets a shot at MJF's AEW World Championship, right?
Yes.
I mean, the only thing I can say
Oh.
is that this has never been done before ever. I've never heard of anything like this in my entire life.
Neither have I. Neither have I. I don't even know how you put 12 men in a cage.
I just go back to my literal thinking, right? My straightforward thinking. It's like, why would okay? So MJF is offering the Don Callis money
Yes.
for this, right?
Yes.
A lot of money.
Yes.
Okay. And the baby faces on Mark Briscoe's team, they're doing it just to be good guys, right? Just to help out. Well, I guess each individual guy has their own
Yeah,
personal
have their
beef
own.
with the Don Callis family, right? So
Yeah.
it's like the enemy of my enemy is my friend type of thing,
Yeah.
right?
Well, also not really because like Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly don't really have any beef as such with anybody in Don Callis' family. Not directly,
Mm-hmm.
but they're in a stable with Mark Briscoe, the conglomeration, so they kind of just got piled in. Um, whereas like Takeshita, Darby Allin, they have beef with everybody because Takeshita has beef with Kyle O'Reilly, Kyle Fletcher and Okada. Darby has beef with Kevin Knight. MJF in himself has beef with Mark Briscoe, but MJF also has beef with Andrade. And then you have Jake Doyle because he's a big, strong man.
That was one of the things. The only thing that made sense to me in this whole situation was Andrade. Because Andrade was the only guy that was like, no, I don't want anything to do with this. Why the hell would I help MJF? Like, it makes no sense. And then Don Callis is like, just do it, all right? And it's just like, well, fuck, all right. It's just, I don't know, man. I think this thing is insane, man. But how do you, besides whatever I think about this, what do you think about this? How do you feel about this build up and the fact that we're seeing like all of these people mixed in this main event in a steel cage?
I'm of two minds. We already know that we're going to probably get MJF versus Ospreay at All In.
Okay.
So Briscoe, whatever happens in this match, mostly inconsequential, right? That's right off the bat. That being said, second mind, like you said, I've never seen a 12-man tag team steel cage match. I've never seen a tag team match that has so many different threads, apart from like a blood and guts match. But I don't know why they could have just done that here. I don't know why they didn't. But I've never seen a tag team match that has this many things interwoven into the story, into the threads of the match, and then still have a stipulation on top of it, and then still be in a stipulation in the still like it's a lot to unpack. But if you break it down to the entire thing, is Briscoe is probably going to win because they didn't do all this build up just to have Briscoe lose at this point in time. So Briscoe is probably going to win. What's going to be interesting is how much of a factor Andrade is in this entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
How much of a factor Darby Allin, Kevin Knight plays into the overall pacing of it. How much Takeshita versus Fletcher versus Okada plays into it. I think they're using this match to progress all those different stories at the same time, while having the overarching one of MJF versus Briscoe be like the setting for these overarching things. I imagine it's going to be good. I imagine it's going to be good. I'm not familiar with Mark Briscoe outside of his work in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
And as a result, I'm not too hot on him the way other people are. But it should be. I've seen him in some matches, especially I think his match with. Oh yeah, he has beef with Kyle Fletcher as well, low key for the TNT title. So it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be interesting. I would have preferred a single. Like honestly, I would have just preferred like a one-on-one match. Get it over with. But fine. Fine.
Didn't MJF say if they win, he was going to give some of the Don Callis members a title shot?
He kind of has to. Yeah. He kind of has to.
Yeah.
Probably Andrade.
Yeah. I mean, I would think, say, for instance, Mark Briscoe wins. I would think they would have MJF defend it before All In.
Yeah.
You know, because of what I'm pretty sure the main event at All In has to be Will versus MJF.
Yep.
So if MJF wins that Forbidden Door, say he gives Andrade a title shot, either way, I feel like MJF is going to have to defend it at least one time before All In.
He kind of has to, yeah. And the thing is, too, I'm realizing now that even though it wouldn't be as strong, MJF could entirely lose. Like, MJF could lose a title before All In. There's no way it's going to happen, but, like, obviously. But, like, it could happen, and then we go into pretty much a layup for Ospreay. But I think that doesn't have as much weight as...
Yeah, because then whoever beats MJF, if he were to lose it before All In, just turns into a placeholder.
Yep.
So it's just...
So they have to be very careful about that, too, because... Also, this is another thing, too. We've had this conversation all through this card about... Well, not all through, but, like, the later half of this card. Ospreay winning. Mm-hmm. If Ospreay wins, who does he go against?
Yeah. Like after All In, you mean?
Yeah, like after All In, who does he go against?
Yeah, I mean...
Is he going to be... Because he can't...
You know what? When this question arises, what I like to do is pull up to the good old roster page and just go down some names to see who we can put up versus Ospreay as a new... Well, this is going to be a long fucking roster page. I just remembered how many people AEW actually has. God damn, this is a lot of people. All right. I'm just going to skim through here. Will Ospreay, I'm just going to throw some names at you. Tell me what you think.
Okay,
Will Ospreay versus Andrade.
fair.
Okay.
Doesn't okay, fair. Yeah, fair.
And we all know, like, Will Ospreay likes to give shine to like the young guys. Like,
Mm,
he's wrestled random people like Blake Christian on Dynamite whenever he gets a chance.
mm.
But Will Ospreay versus Brody King. Hell, even with everything that's happening with the Death Riders, I wouldn't put it past Will Ospreay to defend versus John Moxley or Daniel Garcia.
Probably Danny Garcia. Yeah, not John Moxley. I think it's a bit. No, it could happen. It could happen. Yeah, final boss type shit. Okay, you won your championship. Now come test your metal against me. Type shit.
Especially if Will Ospreay ends up turning on the Death Riders after All In.
Yeah,
I think that would have to set up a match between, Will and Moxley, I would assume, or something like that.
yeah. But like I said, even if he doesn't turn, like it's. I think it's fine. Like it's okay.
Okay.
Like see what we've done for you. Now, I just think I keep thinking final boss type shit.
Yeah. Um I mean, we saw what Will Ospreay, what Swerve Strickland had to say to Will Ospreay. We can see that go down.
But they already did it for the Owen.
Right, but they can still do it for the title if Will Ospreay's ever champion. Here's another one. Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay.
Assuming he beats Zack Sabre Jr. though,
Yeah.
because he would need that kind of momentum. Otherwise, it's going to be out of nowhere. But yeah,
I can see them doing Jungle Boy versus Ospreay.
okay, he has a bunch of people. Then he has a bunch of people. Yeah,
Yeah. Just to name a few, because yeah, this roster is long and yeah, there's a lot of people on this thing. So there's a lot of potential matches for Will Ospreay, but I think the one that makes the most sense after All In would be someone from the Death Riders. I think.
yeah. I think Danny Garcia probably they could probably feed Wheeler Yuta to him as well.
You,
Um,
you know
yeah,
what? One more thing. When it comes to this match, something that I read online is the reason that they're having this match this way is because MJF is legitimately injured. I believe he injured his knee
his
after the last
knee.
PLE.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
plans changed after that happened. I don't know if you heard about that, but it's like I guess they're trying to protect MJF in a way. Well,
Fair,
fuck.
yeah. Then that
That
makes that makes more sense. Yeah.
that also kind of makes me wonder like the possibilities of MJF losing the title before All In are very likely.
I don't think so. I think they're gonna protect him. They're gonna watch it for a while. He's not gonna be in a match for a bit. Then one random dynamite, he's gonna probably defend against whoever. Like if Briscoe wins, then he probably defends against Briscoe after like a week or two.
Yeah.
But also, when is All In? All In is in August, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then they have a full month to do MJF versus Briscoe. Let's say
Yeah.
2 weeks. Yeah. So MJF gets recuperation for 2 weeks. He's just in the ring doing the promos, et cetera, et cetera. And then a week from now, he's like, yeah.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully it's not that serious, but
Yeah, I hope it's not that serious because that would be crazy. Like he's been on such a good run so far.
yeah. Well, yeah, overall, we got a lot to look forward to for next weekend, Dayo, for when it comes to
Mm.
AEW Forbidden Door. Um, yeah, a lot of this stuff is going to determine what we're going to see at All In. So that's pretty exciting. Is there anything else that we missed? Anything else you want to add when it comes to Forbidden Door?
What I'm curious about is how long the pay per view is gonna be. That's what I want to
Oh,
see.
good
Because if we're
Lord.
talking about another 5 hour pay per view, I'm all for it, but oh my god. you know? Like, oh my god. I'm hoping
I'm
it's a
willing to
full
bet it's
three,
gonna
three
be
and a
at
half. I believe.
least as you're looking at least 6 hours, dog.
No, dog, I don't have 6 hours. I don't have six
Not
hours.
and that's
Well,
not even including the
the
pre-show.
pre-show. I know
Yeah, bro.
Ospreay versus. I don't know when they're going to. This is the main thing that I'm worried about. I don't know when they're going to do Ospreay versus Swerve, Omega versus Zack, because those two are going to take time. Those two are going to take like 20, 30 minutes each. So
Oh,
that's an hour already. Monet
yeah,
versus Maya World is probably going to be like 15 to 20.
yeah,
The Young Bucks is probably going to be like a full 20, 30-minute spectacle.
yeah.
Team Briscoe versus Team MJF, another 30 minute spectacle. Like, we're already clocking about 2.5 hours, and we've only done like 4 matches, dog.
Yeah, bro, that's insane.
That's minus Cope and I forgot about Cope and Cage. I forgot about Moxley versus Bandido. It's a lot, dog. It's a lot.
Yeah, bro. But yeah, I'm probably gonna have to break it down to like a couple days to watch the whole thing or whatever. But
Yeah, I'm gonna split it in half probably.
I
Split.
definitely want to catch up with you after Forbidden Door to go over the results and kind of set us up for All In
And
and
yeah,
get us hyped for that.
yes, sir. I'm probably gonna do. We'll see, but I'll probably do like a recap on my page just ahead of time because like I have some people that say they want me to talk about AEW stuff more, and so I
Hell
want
yeah.
to figure that out. But like, yeah,
Hell yeah.
Jesus
Sounds good,
Christ,
Dio. But yeah,
it's
man,
stacked, brother. It's stacked.
it is super
Also, shout out
stacked
to
like
you,
always.
shout out to you, shout out to y'all, shout
Yes,
out to y'all.
sir. Rocking the
Yeah,
merch. Appreciate
it's
it, dog.
comfy. It's so comfy. Like I put it on the first time, and I was like,
They're good,
bro,
dude. They're
it's
good.
comfy. Oh my gosh.
I just ordered a bunch of stuff too. Again,
mm, mm,
yeah,
yeah,
we're always putting up stuff, man. So I'm glad you liked it, bro. It means a lot. I
I
appreciate it.
love it. I
Hell
love it.
yeah. Gonna have to send you some more stuff, man.
Yeah, please. Yes.
It's just hard to send stuff over there, bro. I didn't think it'd be that complicated.
I mean, because it's like, well, there was a situation that was preventing people from delivering to the UAE. Um, that-
Oh,
yeah. So now that it's quote unquote taken care of,
oh,
it should
got
be
it,
easier. Because I was
got
trying to
it.
get like I was trying to get into collaboration with like Neo Sabers, for example. This is off the record. I was trying to get into
Well, we're
collaboration.
still live.
Oh yeah, we're still live, gang. I was trying to get into um, collaboration with Neo Sabers, a lightsaber company, but they
Hmm.
told me that like we, because of the situation, they couldn't do that. So
Damn.
I was like, okay, that's fine.
Okay, well that's good to know, man. Yeah, if we can send you some stuff out there, then the more the merrier.
Absolutely, I would welcome it. I'll put, I'll have like a section in my wardrobe that's just Snug Wrestling memorabilia and merchandise. 10 out of 10.
Hell yeah, I love to hear that, Daya. Like always, man, it's a pleasure to hang out with you and talk AEW wrestling.
Yes, sir.
Um, yeah, man. Thanks to everyone that hung out with us. Please be sure to leave a star rating and a review. And you will catch us very, very soon. Until next time.
You can't say it in the edit.